Hi, you might have seen my first demo on this that I uploaded about 6 months ago when there was just the promise and the dream of multi-timbrality, and this button here, this parts button, didn't do anything. But now we've had a version 1.3 update, which is super easy to install over USB with their own little updater. And this has brought 6-part multi-timbrality, which is what you were listening to in the intro, with the bass part. It had like a synth reso sweep, a little bell part, and then chords as well. So 1, 2, 3 mono parts and a chord playing 3 notes. But you can set it up in loads of different configurations, which I'll explain in a minute. And just in case you haven't seen a previous demo and you've not come across this before, in essence, it's a 6-voice analog polysynth, but that doesn't really do it justice because it's a 6-voice analog polysynth that's got lots of different characters in it. And that's what this character parameter's for. We just play the filter a little. We've got 5 different filter types or filter styles. Have some drive, you can hear much more distinct differences. And then we've got the Demon Core oscillator section based on their Demon Core Oscillator Eurorack DCO. So these are analog oscillators but set up in a really interesting way. Just play a single note and I can start stacking that. So we can end up with 16 different oscillators off a single voice. So if we come into the DCO here, and then we'll detune one of them, say, let's put this on 7 semitones to give us a 5th. So this is just one oscillator, or one voice I should say, 2 oscillators in there. We've got 2 sawtooths there, and we can change that to a pulse. Oops, there we go. And then you can do all the normal things you'd expect to do with a pulse, plus we've got noise as well. And that shows you that it's not your standard analog synth, is it? They do have different engines planned, so that's what this button's for here. Different engines. I mean, obviously this engine's got 2 oscillators plus noise. You've got a sawtooth and a square in there, but others are in the pipeline. So you could see the oscillator almost as like a bit of a modular system in that you've got 6 different voices. You could have 6 different oscillators on each of the voices, and you can, chop and change the oscillators. That's the whole idea of it. Chop and change the oscillators, chop and change the filter. You've got multi-timbrality now, so you've got 6 different voices, so you could have 6 separate monosynths, which does really bring me to the parts section. If we hit the parts button, we can see we've got 6 different parts there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, labeled the same as these little hexagons in the voice circle. And we've got various settings in here. We've got the polyphony, so how many notes you can play at once. We've got a paraphonic mode as well. We've got unison, the amount of unison voices, and then the unison spread. Plus we can assign them dynamically, or we can reserve them. That's what the lock does. And we can send them to different groups, A, B, or C. So we can link the MIDI parts to group A, group B, or group C. And then we've got main output, auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2. And if I load in into the groove one, part 1 is coming out of the main output. Let's set part 2 out to come out of auxiliary 1, part 3 to come out of auxiliary 1, and part 4 to come out of auxiliary 2. So the bassline had some compression, the chords and the bells had a little bit of reverb, and the big reso sweep came out of auxiliary 2, and that had some delay on it. If we just play the parts. So that's the bass. On 2, we've got the chords. Let's put that on the main now because I've only got 1 output there at the minute. And let's do that for 3 and 4 before I get confused. So we're listening to all of them through the main output. 2. 3 was the bells, a couple of octaves higher. Not the best sounding bells I've ever created. And then 4 was the reso sweep. I think that was really low. I've reserved the voices for the bass, the bells, and the reso sweep, so we don't get any note stealing, which leaves it 3 voices for the chords. But to show you the paraphonic modes, let's load another one. Let's go into Para Demo. So in this, I've got 2 parts playing, 1 and 2. On 1, it's paraphonic and it's got 5 notes. So that's a 5-note chord, but only using 1 voice. And then if we come to part 2, let's play that up a little higher. So if I just put the amp envelope on maximum, that'll play forever basically. Then come into voice 1 again. And playing there. Ten notes at once. Whichever's highlighted is the one you're playing. So 10 notes from a 6-voice synth. And the next mode I wanted to show you was this. If we come into, I think it's called Unison. Stereo Unison. So coming into parts, we can see we've just got the 1 part here, but this part, as I play the notes, you'll see it lighting up. So that's 1 part or 1 note playing 2 voices because they're linked. You can see the little line above them. So that's 3 notes using 6 voices, but 1 left and 1 right because I've got the stereo spread up. So it's now 3-note polyphonic when stereo. It's a nice little extra. Mono. Beautiful, isn't it? Change the mode and I like doing this. I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm changing the mode of the filter. So I'm adding some high frequencies up because if you carry them all the way around, you end up in a high pass. Something else you can't do on most synths. So yeah, there you go. Multi-timbral modes on the Redshift 6. Here's another cool little thing you can do. I've created this preset called 6 monos. You can guess what this is going to do. Go into the parts. We can see we've got 6 parts activated. We can deactivate them by pressing Shift and turn them on or off. So let's put them all back on again. And you can see I've reserved a single voice for each of them. But if we look at the outputs on them, 1 and 2 are coming out of the main output, 3 and 4 are coming out of Aux 1, 5 and 6 are coming out of Aux 2. So we've got the 6 different voices coming out of 6 different outputs. Because if we look at the amp, we can see that each of them are panned hard left or hard right. So when I play 1, 2, all coming out of different outputs. So in this, you do have 6 independent monosynths. So there you go, the Redshift 6 from Supercritical. It's an analog synth, but not as we know it, with those sort of 16 different oscillators per voice. Just takes it into being something completely different. And now having 6-part multi-timbrality, It's obviously way beyond what anything or any other DCO synth like an Obi Matrix or the Juno 6, Juno 60 or Juno 106 could do back in the 80s. This really is taking things to the future. So not only does it look like something from a futuristic spaceship, its functionality is taking us to places we've never been as well. There will be further updates to come. Do check out their website to see what's happening, especially the effects will be pretty cool when we've got those up and running. It'll take it further into unexplored territory. Well, I hope that was of some use to somebody somewhere. If it was, please do subscribe, ring the bell, do all those things. Join me over on Patreon, take a look at my website, buy stuff. It all does help to support the channel. Anyway, thanks for staying to the very end, and I will see you next time.